Hey guys, you are watching Ask Chanelle. Do me a favor and click the subscribe button below. Without further ado, let's get started with our questions. So Gregory wants to know, hi Chanelle, when a group starts losing members, how do you approach that objection to retain them? Okay, so my advice to you, Gregory, is to number one, first and foremost, be proactive. Okay, if you're in the world of groups, then this is something that you're already accustomed to. People drop off. It's our job to allow that rate to decline. There's no way to fully eliminate it, but you can drastically decline it by these simple steps. So number one, please be proactive. When you're in the info gathering stage, this is before the group is even booked, before a deposit is placed, before any ticket is purchased, before any monetary transaction takes place. I need you to ask questions that will allow you to understand, okay, what's the real number that this group can bring out? So proactive questions for me is to ask, okay, so how do you usually communicate to your group? Oh, is it an email blast? Is it a website? Is it this or is it that? And then I'm also asking them how many subscribers are on their email blast? How many subscribers are subscribed to maybe their social media? How many individuals, if they've done a group outing in the past with your company, ask what's the pattern? You know, how many individuals usually come out to this event? If they've never done anything with your specific company, ask them if they've ever done anything in the local market. Now that can be like another sports team. That can be like, hey, a bowling outing. That can be anything. Ask them how many individuals usually come to that. So I usually take that number and I kind of decrease it a little bit because I'm super conservative, because I hate the drop off thing. So, and I usually go from there, but it's important for you to get a gauge on their history, the group's history, and the conversion rate. Okay, so this group has access to this amount of people, but they usually draw out this amount of people. So that will help you to determine a real number. So when they come to you and say, hey, yeah, we're going to bring out 200 people, when you ask them these questions, you'll be able to reveal, is it 200 or is it 25? So that's something that you'll learn as you grow in the industry. But it's going to save you in the long run. I promise you, be conservative and be proactive. Number two is, when they call you and say, hey, I know we said 200, but it's 2 weeks before the game. We only have 10. Ask them what they've done to promote and be the expert and advise them on what they should do next, because they're calling you for advice. They're calling you for help. They're giving you that call and say, hey, we only have this amount of people. Give them some sort of solution. Say, hey, okay, I understand you sent one email blast 3 months ago. We know that ain't going to work. You sent one email blast 3 months ago, but okay, can we send 2 email blasts per week leading up to the game and 1 social media post? It's up to you to be the expert and provide them with some sort of advice. Even, if you have a specific example of a group that you've worked with and they had a specific cadence, it might be helpful to throw that in the conversation as well and say, hey, yeah, okay, I had a similar group have a similar situation. They did an email blast and a social media post every other day leading up to the event to help with driving traffic. So be the expert, give them advice. And lastly, I would advise you to ask them if there's anything you can do to help. By help, I mean some sort of FEP or fan experience that can help drive traffic for them. One thing that I like to do is offer them some sort of like raffle. And I'll say, hey, I understand that sales are going a little bit slow. Do you think it would help if we were to randomly raffle off a experience for a family of 4, 5, 6, or whatever you have access to, raffle off some sort of experience to a family? Do you think that would help drive ticket sales? You can, if you have vacant FEPs, you can have a family of 4, sit courtside before a game, to watch the warm-ups. You can have a family on the field, watch the guys kick around before the game starts. So it's all about what you have access to. So I would definitely incorporate some sort of FEP in there, especially if it's going to drive group sales. One thing that I've come to realize is that ticket sales is usually driven on these experiences that you cannot pay for. So that's my advice for you, Gregory. If you have any other questions, I love to help. You are watching Ask Chanelle. If you have your own question, write that down in the comments below.